Good morning, Politicking Our Way family. Nate Jenkins back with you once again. Not a long delay, but long enough. And as I always stated, we don't have something good to say, we're not saying nothing. But today I think we got a little things good to say. Because we're going to talk a little bit about the state of the whole world, not just the United States. Of course, the big topic is the coronavirus. So that's why we are dressed down the way we are. That's why we are distanced from each other here at the studio. So let's get our disclaimer out of the way. The words, the contents, and everything that are about to be discussed here are solely of my own creation. They're not a reflection of Red Sage Productions, Off the Rack Productions, Cross the Fader, or any other affiliates connected with the recording and the publishing of Politicking Our Way as a show, an environment, or a team. So let's get started. Let's talk about where we're at right now. I hope everybody's out there safe, spiritually, mentally, and physically, because those are the three components that make us up as human beings. You know, spiritually, let's talk about, let's get connected. Let's get connected to people. Of course, social distancing is important. I can connect with you without seeing you, as we are doing today. So this will be the time that we check up on our loved ones, check up on our family, our friends, you know, them haters. Let's check up on them too, because we definitely need haters, you know. Let's look at, you know, our physical well-being, man. You know, let's talk about keeping everything clean and sanitized. You know, I'm a little OCD, so this thing works for me. You know what I mean? I always have a can of Lysol on hand. I got my N95 mask sitting over there on the desk. You know, everything is covered. I got gloves. I got it all. When I go outside, I don't take a chance with my health because I don't know exactly where this thing is coming from. So trust me, when I go outside, I'm putting on the mask. I'm not one of those real courageous individuals who say, Jesus is my mask, and I'm going to go out there and, you know, whatever. I mean, if that's your thing, that's your thing. But let's face it, we're living in a time that we need to be careful. You know, religion is what religion is. I believe in Jesus Christ and all those good things that keep us spiritually awakened and connected. But at the same time, I understand that the science says this thing is deadly. Okay? And from a mental health perspective, we really gonna learn who we like and who we don't like, especially in our own households or in our immediate surroundings. So what I would suggest that we all look into some escape routes, you know, meditation, breathing exercises, things of that nature. You know, this would be a good time to get connected to a nice book and, you know, find yourself into your imagination. Something that's really skirted from our view over the last few years now with the internet and all the social media. You know, it may be time to unplug for a little while. And oh, by the way, stop watching so much damn news. It's just a rerun and a repeat of the same shit. Come on, man, let's be real. If you catch it at noon, it's the same at 4, the same at 6, same at 8. They add 2 things at 10 and 11. And before you go to bed, you're highly depressed about every damn thing. So, you know, 1 news shot a day should be sufficient. That's my belief. I mean, do as you please, but I'm just trying to stay mentally sane, competent, and kind of balanced, you know. So those are a few suggestions from Politicking Our Way. So let's get down to the real nitty-gritty of this thing, the coronavirus. Where did it come from? What does it mean to me and to my family and my friends? From what we understand, it was not created in a lab in Wuhan, China. Let's get rid of all these conspiracy theories, man. Every time that man, us men and women, human beings, don't know enough, we create our own narrative. Or we pick up a bone and run with it like a good little puppy dog. So here's the thing. It was not man-made in a lab. Science shows that it did come from bats in Wuhan. The question is, how did it jump species? How did it jump from a bat to a human and then into the populace? Well, we know what they do over in China. They eat wild animals. Have you ever been there? They got them strung up on wires as you go through the market. So yeah, eating bats is a delicacy for those folk. I suggest we don't eat any wild animals. Roadkill, deer, any of that good stuff that we like to partake in, even here in America, cut that shit out. At least for the meanwhile, right? Okay? It's not caused by 5G. Let's get that off the table. My people, really? Technology is spreading a disease only to a select few people? You gotta be kidding me. If it was spread by radiation and 5G, we'd all have it. It's really that simple. Come on, man. Can you not believe every damn thing you hear? Can you not be a creature of mental comfort and just run with shit because you heard it from somebody who heard it from somebody whose source was somebody? Not backed by science at all. Every country with 5G has it. Well, there's a couple of countries, quite a few countries, that don't have 5G to have it. Okay, so let's just take that theory off the table. Well, let's talk about our biggest conspiracy throw-outer, our biggest conspiracy theorist, the orange orangutan up on 16th and Penn. Yeah, the Donald. The coneback king? Yeah, Donald Trump. You got a guy who once said, this is a Democratic hoax, and crazy shit. Nothing based on science, but all he cares about is being reelected so he can extend his game of power. Then we got a bunch of fools that are still marching behind him regarding this virus as a political hoax. You got people on the other state-run network, as we now call it here in the journalistic world, Fox News, which is no news at all. It should be called Fox Entertainment for fools, because that's what, I said it. That's what it is. You got a guy that goes out on the internet, looks at all these conspiracy theories, looks at every little snippet that sounds marketable for him and his cronies to push their agenda. He takes that, tweets it out, it gets reaffirmed by all these followers, and then you got these news outlets that pick it up and push it and push it and push it out into the ether to the point that we start believing this shit. Watch somebody long enough and ask yourself 5 whys. Why'd he do it? When they answer that, why'd you do it? When you answer that, why? Why and why? By the time you get to the 5th why, you'll disseminate the lie. 5 whys wipe out the lies. Real simple. I learned that as a kid, and it's still prevalent today. So stop running with all these damn conspiracies, man. If you haven't learned anything about Donald Trump, you got to understand that if he's speaking directly into the mic and not looking down at a piece of paper or trying to find a teleprompter, he's speaking from the heart, and his heart is ignorant as hell. And you'll get some of the worst information from a grown-ass child. If you find him breathing heavily while he's reading, he's doing one or two things. He's trying to read and he's trying to disseminate on the paper how to pronounce that damn word. Because he is one of the most, I can't even put words behind how we elected someone who can't even read 3-syllable words. Y'all should be ashamed of your damn selves. Okay? So, if he spits out anything on Twitter, please stop running with it, for those who do. Because I'm sure I got some followers on this show that follow him. Follow who you like. Fools follow fools, blind lead the blind. We all going off the damn cliff. But I'm going to say this to you real simple. This virus is not to be played with. Closing the borders. You late. You behind the fucking 8 ball at this point, Mr. Trump. When they started having problems in Italy, Spain, definitely in China, we should have closed down international travel at that particular point. You got to understand, the United States, the reason why we really haven't had a war on our turf from an outside enemy is because we got these two things on the East Coast and the West Coast. They call fucking oceans. That virus can't travel over all that water by his damn self. So if you'd have closed down the border or international travel, maybe we wouldn't be in this hot ass seat that we find ourselves in today. Being a little proactive as opposed to reactive is always the best remedy for any situation. But what did we do? Or what did he do, I should say? And I say we because he is, unfortunately, our president. Okay? Let's get that shit. He ain't my president. Who the fuck you doing? This is the United States. He is the president of these United States. So if you don't like what he's doing or what he has done, get your dumb ass off the couch in November and vote against his ass and anyone like him, all the way down the ticket. Stop sitting home talking about your vote don't count. Then complain about the results. Ignorance is not a gift that you get on Christmas. So stop walking around displaying that shit like it means something to somebody other than yourself. So I'm going to tell you this. When this pandemic started overseas, we had every opportunity to learn from those who were affected by it first. You know, look at South Korea. They are by no way more advanced than us. We are the most advanced, richest country in the world. But we are so selfish and self-centered as a people that we believe shit can't happen to us. We way beyond that. We smarter than them. But they are slowly eradicating this thing. We are still ramping the fuck up. And it happened over there. It should have stayed over there. Okay? Wuhan, China ain't Southeast D.C. It ain't Baltimore, Maryland. It ain't Detroit. It's not L.A. It's not San Antonio. It's not Miami. These are all places I like. So I'm just throwing those out. Charlotte, North Carolina. Hey, if I didn't name your city, I'm sorry. Invite me there. I'll come there and we'll have a blast with or without mask. Okay? So it's real simple, ladies and gentlemen. We got to understand that even though this virus has kind of like pushed us back into the house, you know, we're now living like cavemen. We're in there arguing with our kids about small things. Our mates or significant others breathing too hard, watching the wrong shows, everything getting on our damn nerve right now. We don't have enough toilet paper. You know, I can't find a mask. All this stuff. Slow down, ladies and gentlemen, and really take a look at what's happening. Let's look at the positive side of this. We've never been more dependent on each other in the recent years as we are today. We're dependent on our family members and those who we live with or are connected to help keep us breathing and keep us alive. We're dependent on each other to be cautious, social distancing, covered up, putting masks on and all that. So my good health directly affects your good health. This is a real good time to reflect on what's really important in life. You know, all that running out, buying shit and all that. You can't order from Amazon enough shit because where you going? You're buying all this Fashion Nova, ladies. Where you going? You know? It's kind of crazy. But as this thing progresses, we start to unveil who we really are. So let's look at who we really are in this coronavirus. Oh, you're going to find out if that person you live with really the person you should be living with. You're going to find that out quickly if you're paying attention. If you're playing cards and that person show you spades, trust me, they got spades. And if you're playing spades, trust me, they're going to cut your books for those who have played spades or whist or whatever your partake is. But what I'm saying is, if somebody show you the hand, understand that that's who they are. But make the right decisions. It don't mean cut and run. It just means that we may have some work to do if we're going to coexist in some form, fashion of a relationship. Be it personal, work, romantic, or whatever. You know, this is a good time for us to kind of like be by ourselves and reach inside and find out who we are. What are our objectives? What do we want? What do we need? What are our desires, and how the hell are we going to get there? Let's do a little self-reflection. Let's make a plan. Because a person without a plan definitely plans to fail. It's real simple. Let's take advantage of these times that we've been slowed down to a halt. Let's look inside and find out what's really missing. Find out how we can fix that. You know, it's not so much what needs to be changed in the world as what needs to be changed in me as a person, as a human being. That will make my situation and those around me's lives a lot better. So that's what coronavirus is doing for Politicking. I'll wait, Nate Jenkins. And I suggest you take a little bit of that if you can, and throw that shit in the trash and put it on the shelf. Do it as you like. But I'll tell you what I'm not going to do is sit back and have this health crisis turn into a physical crisis. So, physical meaning body, fiscal meaning money. So now let's talk about this fiscal thing. Now it's time to be responsible.
House of Traps Productions.